We had the Shibs' long-awaited return, blinding bright ice, Mark occasionally in water underneath the sea, I swear, and so much more. Join me as I dive into
NHK Trophy. NHK Trophy.
But first, don't forget to like, share, hype, and subscribe for more figure skating related content. Let me start this off, y'all, by saying I oddly feel incredibly refreshed right now despite a wrecked sleep schedule, which only means I have zero insight into my condition, so this is likely going to be a wild ride of a recap, y'all. Let's start off with the ice dance event. Lilah and Lewis Gibson from Great Britain were the winners here, and I knew this audience would understandably lose their ever-loving minds over them, and rightfully so. I know there are lots of discussions about her skating skills, but I can't help but enjoy them, y'all, and I am well aware that my toxic trait in terms of ice dance appreciation is that I am easily amused, and I very well could be like enjoying the Applebee's of ice dance and just not know it. And I'm not talking about this team, I'm just talking about overall. However, I think they have a very good strategy of putting together programs that are so entertaining. So that way, the casual viewer, the four-year viewer, or someone who doesn't even watch skating but might be forced to watch it will find them entertaining. Their rhythm dance, this is such a fun program, and they just look so comfortable here. Like, this program ate. I feel as if it just gelled well together. And for their free dance, I absolutely adore this program. They skated so well and just look so confident. They just look like they're having a blast the entire time. And I just think a lot of the lifts are fun and interesting. And especially when it gets to the end, when it switches over to the true Scottish part of the program, like, I think this is going to cause the roof to collapse at Europeans. So congratulations to them. Charlene GUIGNARD and Marco FABBRI, representing Italy, they were the silver medalists here. And so this was an upswing for them after Grand Prix France. And that is so remarkable considering Charlene was injured during practice the day before the rhythm dance. At least I think it was the day before, like all the days and everything's meshing together. And there were rumors that she lost consciousness, so she denied this rumor. And so I didn't get to see the footage. It sounds though like from speculation that she may have potentially, or there may have been concerns for potentially a mild concussive injury, especially if people are talking about LOC. But I don't know. I do know that this caused them to withdraw from the gala because she's still in pain. However, there were no performance issues from her, at least. In the rhythm dance, Marco ended up having like busted twizzles. Like, there was a break in between, and it cost him around probably like 4-ish points. I feel like his twizzles are getting more and more unstable as time goes on. What I've noticed is he kind of chaotically goes into them 90 miles per hour. Like, I feel like if he could actually do them, it would be really remarkable because it would be so speedy, but it just feels chaotic. And oh my God, did she sure give him that Barbara stare. They also changed the music up, and I don't know if I like it better, but I don't think anything that can be done with rhythm dances at this moment. I do still think it kind of gives that, and I'm a millennial, so I could say this, like, millennial reliving youth moment. And for their free dance, they skated it very well. It's a very beautiful program. It wasn't my favorite, but like, this could be the equivalent of like a classy upscale restaurant, and apparently I want Applebee's and ice dance for all we know. I do think a home Olympics, absolutely adore this program. And Caroline Green and Michael Parsons from USA won the bronze here. I'm so glad they're back from his groin injury and able to finish their Grand Prix experience because they had to withdraw from Cup of China. I really enjoyed their rhythm dance. I felt like it was fun. It can be entertained. I know all of us, though, were holding our breath as they made it through the twizzles, and they did fine and no accidents this time. I am a huge fan of their free dance. The modern dance style suits them so well, and they have so many unique lifts and elements throughout the entire program. I feel like they can pull this off. Whereas many skaters, you're kind of wondering like what the heck is going on with this song and everything, but they pull it off. I'm also very glad they made the decision to drop out of Cup of China after watching this program because that would have been so dangerous for them. I think they definitely put themselves in the mix for a spot at the Olympics after this weekend. And in fourth place came the Tashlers. Like, are they okay? They're just free dance, just look different, looked slower. They were very cautious. She seemed very upset afterwards. I feel like I watched this program before and it was really epic, so I'm not quite sure what was going on here. And hopefully everything is okay. All right, the moment of the hour or the weekend or day or whatever, the Shibutanis come back. So Maia and Alex Shibutani came in 6th place here. And I was actually surprised. At the beginning of the season, when they announced that they were coming back, thought these are the ones to beat. So as many of y'all know, there was a leaked video of Alex berating Maia at practice. During this competition, he released an apology. And so I don't know how much all of this kind of factored into their scores and everything behind the scenes. I mean, I do know they had some rightfully called elements. As for their skating, I think I may have been hyping them up. And hyping them up in terms of I thought they were just going to blow the roof off the building of everything. And so that may be why when I watched them skate, other than, of course, the behind the scenes things that we've all witnessed, I wasn't as whelmed. People don't say whelmed a lot. Wasn't as whelmed as I should have been or as I expected to be. They were definitely unhappy with their scores. And I think that maybe they expected the same comeback success as Laurence and Cizeron, but that was not the case. What's fascinating also is in their rhythm dance, a Japanese judge put them last in skating skills, while an American judge put them in second. Ice dance needs to really work on their inter-rater reliability a bit. It is all over the place and it shouldn't be. So the rhythm dance had some moments for me. It was kind of overwhelming. I did enjoy the end when it looked more like Dance Dance Revolution. One thing that is very obvious to me is they do have amazing skating skills. Everything just comes off so crisp and wonderful. Maia was fantastic during it, and I was so disappointed it was her that bobbled. But you can definitely notice they were a little rusty and should have possibly done a challenger event before this. And what was definitely a message sent was that the American team that just graduated seniors from juniors placed ahead of them. Graduated may not be the right term. But again, it's NHK sleepiness time. Their free dance was underwhelming to me as well. It had moments where it really was nice, especially one of the curve lifts. But also sometimes when they did some of their lifts, you could see, when someone is thinking about their elements while doing so. I felt like that was going on. Their twizzles are still in a major league of their own, but just not as remarkable as they once were. Jackie Wong actually posted something on Twitter and had a side-by-side comparison. And that's when it really hit me because before I'm yeah, these twizzles are epic. And then watching that, I agree with him that their twizzles are no longer as remarkable as they once were. Maia was overcome with emotion so much afterwards. And I couldn't help but think this was a personal victory for her. And as for their scores, they did get some things called. And definitely their character step got called because they were obviously far away from one another. That was something that even someone as myself, who is not as well versed on the scoring of ice dance, could see pretty obviously. After the scores, you could see wheels churning in their heads. Maia's side eye, I feel like they know that it's going to be an uphill battle for them to make it to the Olympics. I also kind of enjoy that she made that side eye because sometimes I can't hold back my expression and I just kind of adore Maia. There's something about her that's endearing to me. And before I move on from the ice dance, I absolutely 100% adore Yuka and Juho. Love them. I don't care how they placed. I just love this team. And what's fascinating is somehow us talking about them in the universe made X's AI bust and say they won the bronze. Let's just pretend they really did win a bronze. They won their own bronze, okay? Their rhythm dance is life in itself. They were born to skate to the Spice Girls. I don't care that his twizzles were busted. Zero cares. For their free dance, I love everything about how unhinged this is, especially their character step. Love this so much. I'm sad that the Olympics will not get to see them. I'm sad that they don't get to have a worldwide audience watching them and appreciating them, because it is very unlikely that she will get Finnish citizenship in time unless something unexpected happens in life. Also, Laurence was granted French citizenship, so this is definitely going to shake up the Olympic podium as we know it. All right, y'all, on to the pairs event. And in first place was Sara Conti and Niccolo MACII, representing Italy. every competition, I feel like I really appreciate their Italian energy more. And I'm so fascinated still by what Mark calls like a little blip in their history, even though it's clear they've moved on. Like, I feel like we can have a dramatic Netflix series about this. And for those of y'all who do not know, they used to date at one point and now they're no longer together. They both have different partners. In fact, he's engaged and she is dating Tim Deek. I also really love every time they win. I love watching their reactions. So for their short program, I feel like they've skated as much more spectacular before, but it was still a really epic performance. Like, this style suits them so well. And I'm still obsessed with that entry into that death spiral. Like, that was amazing. For their free skate, I feel like we've seen them do this much better as well. Like, she fell on the throw triple loop and they kind of just struggled to hold on for dear life for some of the jumps. Regardless, they're putting on that Italian show for us. And so I'm so excited for them to win here. I have like a soft spot for them. And in second place was Maia Pavlova and Alexei SVIATCHENKO from Hungary. And I apologize if I butchered that a bit. I still can't believe, y'all, these are the same people who gave a sex bomb and looked like he potentially lived in his parents' basement eating Cheetos. Like, this is a huge glow up. Whoever repackaged them, on point. Like, both of their programs are not my favorite. Like, their short programs, okay, but they still skated it very well. Like, there's no doubt about that. And there's no doubt about it that they have improved on so many things. It's just a personal preference when it comes to like the music and everything. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I really am starting to enjoy their free program a little bit more. Like, there were struggles, but it really is a beautiful program. I am surprised they got a level 1 on the death spiral. Just something for them to continue working on. But still, like, this team could be a potential dark horse for the podium at the Olympics or Grand Prix final. And in third place was Sui and Han. And I want to apologize because in my last video of him, I said Han. But Mark is always really great about pronouncing names right, and he's been saying Han, so I apologize. So they did have some improvements with this outing. For example, their short program, I cannot believe how much that program had already improved since Cup of China. It really felt like a blast from the past watching them, and they were just on point here, looked way more confident, the lift was correct. For their free program, I had to think to myself, was this like run through number 5 or 6 for them? I have in my notes, oh dear God, these lifts are dangerous. Hell, let's send him to lift camp. So I understand like his injury was a while back, but I can't help but worry, like, is his back yelling at him? I'm sure this is something they're going to work on as they go. I'm just a little concerned because that just seemed dangerous. Interesting though, like, even though he looked like he was going to like splatter her at any moment, their stamina did look better here. That they no longer looked like they're going to get off the ice and go straight to sleep. And in fourth and close to the podium here was Yuna and Samada from Japan. I feel like this team is really going to shine next quad, and this makes me so excited for them. Like, it wasn't a perfect outing for them, and I just don't care because it really showed a lot of promise. Like, their throws are epic. They just speed across the ice. And what really warmed my soul is just how excited they were that they broke 200 for the first time. Like, this team is such the future. And in fifth was Alyssa and Misha from USA. I worry because I don't know what's going on with their side-by-side jumps. Her side-by-side jumping passes, they started to unravel a bit last season towards the end, but it seems like they're just cracking more. Like, she fell in the short program, which is so unfortunate because I love that program. And the free program, like, she didn't fall, but she resorted to doubling her jumps. And so I feel like I haven't got to see this free skate yet to their full potential. And so hopefully this gets resolved. Like, she's someone that can be thrown into the air and land, but the side-by-sides, something is afoot. And in sixth was Emily and Spencer from United States of America. So for their short program, they started off looking like they're going to attack, but then they struggled with the jumps and levels. I do think this program is a good vehicle for them because they seem to do well when they're dramatic. And for their free program, they ended up having like some jump mishaps, but I do feel like they came around towards the end. And honestly, when you think about it, they may actually end up at the Olympics by process of elimination. All right, y'all, let's go on to the men's event. These men need to join a spin class boot camp like I talked about with Gabanova, like now. Like, I know the jumps are kind of ridiculous now. We have to hop around, go slow, go fast, go slow, go. But boot camp, y'all are losing your levels here. So Yuma from Japan, he ended up with the gold medal here. He didn't have two clean skates, and it's interesting when you really think about it because at first glance you could wonder like how did that happen when Shun had clean skates. However, he did have the tiny error in his short program, and if you look, Yuma had errors in like spins as opposed to jumps, which are just worth more money or points. Both. I was so excited here for his short program. Like, he opened up with that quad Salchow. I'm like, yep, we're back in business. And then I have in my notes, yes, Mark, I agree. This is a nightmare of his spins. What a nightmare. And then he had the little, like, blip in his step sequence. What really made me happy, though, was he didn't get off the ice. He didn't look like he was really upset with himself. Same with the free skate. Like, he had a fall in the free skate on his quad toe, but he still put on a beautiful performance. I do want to see this again because I've seen this program before and it's breathtaking. Here, it just wasn't the same. But I think this feels like just kind of like a one-time thing. Like, I don't feel like any of this was him being untrained, and none of it really looked psychological, to be honest. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes for him. And in second place was Shun Sato from Japan as well. This has been such a Grand Prix season of all Grand Prix seasons for him, and so it makes me happy. For a short program, I really love the crowd support for him. Like, that made me so happy. I felt like also he blessed the ice, even though there was times where I was shouting, "Your levels," as if I could go out and do the same thing, of course. And y'all, those fan towels with his name, I'm like, why can we not order those online? Like, I'm so jealous of the Japanese. Okay, this is my lack of sleep. Let's go back. So his free skate, that felt like one of the skates of the night for me, to be honest. That was very, very powerful. I am glad that that came in at least first for the free skate. Like, that was solid, and he is really a major contender. And in third place was Lucas. I have such a soft spot for him. Like, I hope he goes and parties through Japan because of this medal. So I ended up having the men's short program results spoiled because I just looked at them beforehand because I was not staying up. And so I held my breath while I was watching it because I'm like, he is fifth after the short program. What happened? Did he splatter? But he didn't. Like, he just tripled his jumps instead of having quads. And he got like a level 2 on his step sequence. So he reported apparently having jet lag, and that made his performance not as great. Now for his free skate, I was so relieved when like he opened up with that quad toe. So like now his quads are back, and he rolled right into another quad toe. And like regardless of his choice of music, he does have everything really down to his arm movements for everything for this program, and he really enjoys it. And so I'm just excited for him. Y'all, Boyan Jin, like what? I want to shout out to him because he was in fourth place here. And honestly, like I kept thinking like during a short program, why is he sticking out to me so much lately? Why haven't I paid more attention to him in life? And it is free to skate. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it was so beautiful. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I feel like he's either getting better and better or somehow I've missed this man in life. I also wanted to talk about Junhwa Cha in fifth place here. Do we need to have like some crystals and sage for his boots? They're held on for dear life. His short program, I screamed so excitedly when he landed that quad Salchow. Like, there were no falls. I was like, could I faint in real life? If I watched this in real life and saw this perfection, would I faint? Who knows? Like that step sequence, I was like on a high. Like, it was great. Then his free skate, like he popped in the beginning and then had some falls. And then let me tell you, there is nothing more awkward than hearing the show must go on as someone's popping and falling. And I also want to touch on Mateo. He ended up in seventh place. Oh, Mateo's Olympic spot. So for a short program, he at least didn't have any falls, though his technical content went haywire. And it just became this like chaos. So because he didn't do his quad toe in the beginning and did a triple toe, he then couldn't do a triple toe on his combo. So then he ended up having to double it. I mean, that was fast thinking. So he didn't do triple toe, and then Zayak it, but still, like, it just really knocked him down lower. And in his free skate, like, it was so beautiful, but then the fall, but the rest of it was wonderful. Like, he made me remember why I adore his skating. What also did him in, though, was the stupid level 1 on the camel change spin. Spinning class boot camp. And as for the battle for the U.S. men, Andrew Torgashev ended up in, why did I put 89th place in my notes? Come on. And to think I said I've been well rested. He came in 9th here. I don't know how things are gonna go for him. Like, he had this mistake in his short program, and in his free skate, it just looks like a struggle. He does at least still have this uncanny ability to put on performance, like, regardless, like, his chorus sequence and his step sequence and the end of his free skate, it just comes alive. Like, I was obsessed with that free skate the first time I saw it. This time, it just wasn't as magical. Like, you could see someone who was clearly going through a journey that they wanted this journey to stop. I think it's gonna be harder and harder for him to make a case for the Olympics here unless some kind of miracle happens. And then Jimmy Ma, so Jimmy came in 10th place here. I have such a soft spot for him, and so this is why it's just so difficult. Can we have 7 million Olympic spots? Okay. So, like, for a short program, I forgot that he somehow makes the Transformers and Firebird, like, somehow hybrid at some point, and I don't think literally there's Transformers, but it sounds like a Transformer has entered the building. And so there were the mistakes with the jumps. They just weren't his friend. And so he wasn't his usual, like, Jimmy Ma show. And then in the free skate, it has potential. I didn't expect the elevator version of, like, the Love You Baby song, but I was disappointed though, because usually, like, even if the jumps are going haywire, he puts on a good show. I felt like until the YMCA played, he was just kind of skating over the music, and then the YMCA is when he came to life. I'm not sure why he changed programs. I feel like I liked his other free skate better. Like, this does allow him to be fun, which he does really well with, but there's just a lot of, like, skating over music. All right, the women's. Let me tell you, I woke up and saw the ordinals and the scores for the short program and wondered what on tarnation happened. It was as if somebody put a spell on the ice. I don't know. The free skates, though, looked so much better. And something that really stands out to me is 2 of the 3 that podiumed have came back from injuries lately. So Kaori Sakamoto came in first here. Of course, she won the gold. I can't believe we just witnessed her final NHK Trophy. Like, do we really have to experience the end of her competitive career? I wonder if she's going to go on, like, ice shows or what, but I digress. So for short program, she, of course, told us goodbye. It's very effective because I feel like her being on her farewell tour, like, during all this, just adds to the performance aspect. Like, it adds to the story. I also feel like this program has even cooked more. Like, one thing that stood out to me is I felt like her arm movements really flow with the music now. And for her free skate, I was so relieved because I feel like I could just watch it so comfortably. Like, I wasn't waiting for the worst to happen. I wasn't waiting for any falls because she looked so confident. And I also love that Mark, he kept bringing up, like, her signature double axel because, yes, we are all obsessed with it. And God, that knee slide is just epic. When I was watching this program, I kept thinking this could be an Olympic moment for her. And Sophia earned her silver medal here and had the most adorable reaction to it. I think it's her first Grand Prix medal. So for her short program, I absolutely love the entrance and exits out of these jumps. I was also impressed because she put her combo in the second half of the program. We don't see a whole lot of that nowadays, and she's coming back from injury. I'm also obsessed when she does that knee lunge and then she begins her step sequence. And it hit me at that time, like, oh, yeah, this is like a Hungarian folk song. Because she did that little shimmy, and I'm like, wait, is she like the townsperson from, like, Beauty and the Beast or something? And then I looked, I'm like, oh, yes, she lost some levels, but we'll take it. And for her free skate, like, I forgot how much Sunset Boulevard suited her. Like, I watched this at Cranberry Cup and forgot all about it. The jumps were not perfect, but it was still enough to medal. I really feel like she's done really well with RAF. Luna Hendricks, so she won bronze here. I am so tickled to death for her. After everything she's been through, she medaled. So for her short program, for some reason, she exited the nightclub. So instead of taking us on a Euro dance club at 3 a.m. journey, she kind of took us to a sad Cracker Barrel. Not on a Sunday, though. Like a weekday. It was a different vibe. And I feel for her because it's interesting because a lot of us are guilty of saying, man, she's taking us to the club again. And that likely she wanted to do something else. But this program just doesn't feel like it. I feel like she kind of found her comfort with the club. I was gutted for her when she had that fall. And I'm like, oh no, what's happening to her, Luna? But then her free skate, she just seems so much more comfortable. Like, it didn't have the same hit as it did at Chinese Devil Horn. But at least she took us to that club in the end and then got her medal. And young Yu, barely off the podium here. Barely. So Luna had a 198.97. Young Yu had a 198.82. Her short program was her best skate yet. And I also have in my notes, I didn't know that she was going to take us to the club. So at least she took us to the club. And like, I'm obsessed with her Ina Bauer into like the double axel. Like, that was amazing. This was also her highest short program score since 2022, y'all. Her free skate, though, what cost her the podium was a lot of noticeable rotation issues. I still feel like, though, she's making a case for herself for the Korean spot at the Olympics. And so we'll just see how nationals goes. And in fifth was Sara Everhart. Our girl had some struggles here. Mark said she was stuck in an airport for like a week, but it turns out it was only a day. But still, that's a lot. To sleep at an airport probably and then go and do a program. So last season, she was so consistent. And this, she's had some unexpected falls and step outs. I hope this is like I live at the airport now type of situation and she's not hung up from last week. I also found it near like she couldn't hold back her curse word coming off the ice. And for her free skate, like she returned to her Lombardia programs outfit. And what's interesting, so she went on Instagram Live like not that long ago, probably about an hour ago. And she said she missed her Firebird program. Like someone said they missed her program and she said, yeah, me too. And so that was just interesting. So I don't know if she'll eventually go back to it or she'll just kind of keep this program. I am sad for her though, because I feel like it's making it harder and harder for her to have a case for a body of work. And Mark pointed out like she's introverted on ice, and that really stood out to me because I've been trying to think of a way to describe it, which is interesting because like I saw her in an interview recently, so fun, and in the Instagram Live I was like, wow, I feel like an old person in Instagram Live, so I'm leaving this. But for that moment I observed she just seemed to have such a bubbly personality, so maybe she needs to have like some dramatic theater course or something to just get her to where she can just project a tiny bit more. And I also wanted to talk briefly about Luna in sixth place. Oh, my heart broke for her because her jumps were not perfect. Like when she had that step out in her short program, the triple Lutz, I felt like my journey was over. Because like we were going to go somewhere fancy with this. Like she is such a, like I feel like she's taking us to a jazz club, taking us to a classical club. We're getting a fancy cocktail. Then her jumps went awry. So I was like, I got to make myself a fancy apple cider drink for my sorrows. Like, free skate wasn't perfect, but it was still a treat to watch. Like, regardless of how her jumps go, it's still a treat. Oh, and Anna in eighth place, like, all right, real talk. Our girl's jumps are fascinating. Can a jump expert explain to me what's going on? So it looks like she has amazing height. And in theory, it looks like she rotates quickly, but it also looks like her rotational force can't keep up. I feel like once she gets this under control, she could potentially have ultra C elements. Like she is so high in the air. I feel like she needs maybe like 2 ice rinks put together and then she could jump to her full potential. Oh, I dread talking about this because it's so sad. Wakaba, why is this happening? Oh my, what a time. Okay, so she came in 9th place here. This was so heartbreaking to watch. Like, she's had such an amazing Olympic quad, and now she had to be injured. Like, I'm so glad I had my apple cider drink for her short program as well. For both skates, even though her jumps weren't great, she still put on a performance for us, and she still fought really hard. Like, I can't believe we live in a world where she may not go to the Olympics, and I don't know how we could function. And lastly, I wanted to talk about Elise Lynn Gracie from United States of America. She came in 10th here. So Mark said she had an injury, and I can't help but wonder, like, is that what's going on, like, this moment? Did she come back too soon? She just skates, like, she's just going through the motions, and her jumps are just quite unstable. Like, if she's still injured, it would probably be better to let her heal before having her go out and do these competitions. Like, why risk injuring her more and ruining her reputation when the Olympics for her is unlikely at this time? I'm not saying other future Olympics, but this one, very unlikely. All right, y'all, that was a journey. I hope this made sense because I feel like the NHK staying awake on hopes and coffee, but also counteracting it with apple cider drink for sorrows is all like meshing together. All right, y'all, see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, hype, and subscribe for more figure skating related content.